Hi everyone, we're back.
Hello to all our family and friends. It's been a difficult year, and we hope you're all doing well. Let's get started.
Okay, we do one movie review.
Steven's weekly recommendation.
My Jokes of the Week.
I'm Stephen O'Craig.
And I'm Leah Yai.
And this is the 21st episode of The Movie Review Show!
Alright, the movie review show is when Steven and I go to our local theater, which is the Red Wing Cinema 8. We see a brand new movie, and then we review it.
We use a popcorn rating system, 1 to 10 popcorn. 1 popcorn being the worst and 10 popcorn being the best.
Okay, today's movie is a historical drama by a famous director of a sci-fi horror franchise. And it involves political intrigue, class struggles, gender roles, and rape. And it is The Last Duel.
And here's the trailer.
There is only one question that matters. Do you swear on your life that what you say is true?
My father told me my life would be blessed with good fortune. I'm married. I was a good wife. And then was judged and shamed by my country.
I say before all of you, I spoke the truth.
A most unspeakable charge has been brought against you.
Jacques Legris entered our home. He attacked me.
The accusation is false.
I am telling the truth.
The truth does not matter. There is only the power of men.
This should be settled quietly.
I'm innocent!
I request a duel to the death.
If you lose, your wife will suffer dire consequences.
One of us has lied. Let us let God decide.
You do not believe me.
I am risking my life for you.
You are risking my life so you can save your pride.
The penalty for bearing false witness is that you are to be burned alive.
I will not be silent.
It's review time. The film starts off by stating that it's based on true events, and then there is the beginning of a joust.
Yep, based on true events, the last legal duel in France, anyway. 1386, so... solid beginning. It establishes, what's going to happen the rest of the movie, so... Cool beginning.
Cool. Adam Driver, who was Kylo Ren in Star Wars, he's in this film, and the problem is he's so tied to that character, Kylo Ren, that as soon as you see him, you automatically think he's the bad guy.
Yeah, I agree, especially long-time die-hard Star Wars fans. There's going to be that hangover period. It's like, well, is he a villain or a good guy? Because you're so used to rooting against him, but he's not really a villain. Well, actually, he does act villainous at times in this movie. He's kind of a complex character, but yeah, you're right. It does take kind of some time to get over that.
Two of the things I didn't care for were, one, sometimes the movie's actually boring.
Yeah, it was 2 hours and 32 minutes. It's about an hour too long, and frankly, my mind was drifting on to other things almost like the whole last hour of the movie, because The problem is when you tell a story multiple times, it loses the emotional impact because guess what? I just saw this, and you're showing it to me again. I mean, I know they tell slightly different versions of the same story, but we know the outcome, so that's where the boring part comes in. It's like, we know what happens. Do we really need to see this again? So he does that 3 times to set up the final duel part, and that was my biggest problem with the movie is pacing. It was just way too slow. Could have made the movie at least a half hour, maybe an hour shorter.
Yeah.
And I would have loved it. I didn't, as it was, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, I didn't love it, so.
The other problem I had was the film's about a lot of things like finances, suing, and politics. Lots of politics.
Yeah, you learn about medieval macro and microeconomics, so we got that going for us. But yeah, they probably delve into that a little bit too much.
I didn't think the acting was great. I thought the lady in the movie, I thought she did a good job. So she was the best actor in the movie. The person I thought was the worst actor in the movie was probably Ben Affleck.
See, we have to disagree. I didn't mind him. I kind of liked his. He played a more whimsical role, I guess, than he normally does. Like his Batman was so straight-laced. I thought he did an okay job. Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with any aspect of the movie. The acting was good, cinematography was good, source material was good, but the way they did it with the multiple telling of the story, that was my big problem, and that's what made me rate it a lot lower.
One of the things they do in the movie is there's 3 chapters, and each chapter is from the viewpoint of a different character. And the problem I thought was some of the events that happen in the 3 chapters are pretty much the same events. So you're like watching them over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah, it's already a historical drama, so everyone knows the outcome before. So you got that. And then you add that, you pile on telling it 3 times, it slows it down. And, like I say, my mind drifted the last hour of the movie. It's like, come on, just get to the duel,
One of the things I thought was interesting is, guess back then they believed that you couldn't become pregnant unless the woman experiences pleasure. So you can't get pregnant if you were raped because there'd be no pleasure. Yeah. It makes you wonder, what kind of weird things our society believes in. They're completely absurd.
Yeah, I think you probably believe that for, many years after that film was made. Yeah, it's an interesting thought. I don't know who dreamed that idea up, but yeah, it's, ridiculous. But
the way I would sum up this movie for me is it's like a murder mystery where you're thinking, that guy's got to be the killer. And then you're watching the whole movie and you find out that guy was the killer. I mean, this isn't a murder mystery, but basically what I'm saying is there's no real surprises here.
Yeah. You tell the same story multiple times, you lose the emotional impact and the suspense, because you know what happens. We just saw what happened. And you can tell it again, it's like, okay, I've seen this before. And then you tell it the 3rd time, it's like you really get boring. So, yeah, every aspect of the movie is fine except the pacing, and that was a big problem for me. That's what really brought my score down for this movie.
Okay, we're going to give our scores. I wanted to give this a higher score, but this is the highest I can give it, and that would be an 8.
A 6.
6?
Would have been a 9, maybe, or 8.5, but yeah, the slow pacing just really compromised the level of entertainment for me.
Well, next we're going to show our scores, and then we're going to look up Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic and see how close their scores are to ours.
Sweet.
Okay, we're looking at Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, the tomato meter is 86%.
Way too high.
That's funny.
Like we said, they describe the movie well in the consensus, saying it's a well-acted historical drama with epic grandeur or whatever. But problem is, like we said, the pacing really slows it down, and the repetitive storytelling really slows it down, so, that description doesn't mesh with 86%. I think it's way too high, but anyway.
The audience score is 80%. That's the same score I gave.
That agrees exactly with your score of 8 kernels. But, yeah, like I say, it's just, I had no problem with any aspect of the movie, except a big problem with pacing. It was just way too slow, and like you say, parts of the movie were boring, and I don't see how you can give a movie a really high rating when large parts of it is boring.
I agree.
But that's just me.
I agree. Next, we're going to look up Metacritic. Okay, we're looking up Metacritic. Okay, the Metascore is 67. That's close to your score.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like basically, 3 percentage points closer to my score of 60 than your score of 80. So if you think about it, that's kind of giving it a 2/3, which is a decent score, but not a great score, which is kind of how I feel about the movie, even though I thought it was even just a little bit below average, honestly. I mean, not below average, just above average. A 6 is a little better than a 5, which would be just basically, an okay movie. I thought it was a little better than okay, but I thought with the big games involved, it potentially could have been much, much better.
The user score is 6.7, which is the same score, but out of 10.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, some of the comments in there about the acting, for instance. Like one person, oh, great, we'll like the story. Another one says, the acting was horrible. So it's like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. I thought the acting was okay, but it was the direction I had a problem with.
Well, next is Steven's Weekly Recommendation. It's time for Steven's Weekly Recommendation. What is Steven's Weekly Recommendation? Each episode I recommend something that I think is awesome. This episode's recommendation is another movie, The Green Knight. This is a second movie review. We normally just do one. On Christmas morning in King Arthur's court, the Green Knight appears, a tall green creature, stating any knight who is able to land a blow on him will receive his green axe, but must travel to the Green Chapel the following Christmas and receive an equal blow in return. The main character, Gawain, wielding Excalibur, cuts off the Green Knight's head. The Green Knight rises, holding his head, stating, 1 year from now. As Christmas approaches, Gawain leaves the city and heads to the Green Chapel to have the Green Knight chop off his head. This movie changed my life. It made me analyze the future choices I will make someday, and that one wrong choice can be devastating to your life and to your soul. I give The Green Knight a 10. Here's the trailer.
Friends, brothers and sisters, who can regale me and my queen with some myth or tale?
O greatest of kings, let one of your knights try to land a blow against me. Indulge me in this game.
I will beat thee.
Another year nearly gone already. You must seek him out.
Was it not just a game?
Perhaps, but it is not complete.
You'll find no mercy, no happy end.
Why do you stop me?
Your doom is at hand.
You rest your bones. I'll finish your quest for you.
And what do you hope to gain from facing all of this?
Honor. That is why a knight does what he does.
Are you ready?
It's the end of the show, which means it's time for Lee's Jokes of the Week.
Alrighty then, I guarantee this won't drag on like the movie did, okay? I got 6 jokes. Alright. Steven, what did the ruler say before it dueled another ruler?
I don't know.
It sized up its opponent. Number 2. How do you beat a slab of cheddar cheese in a duel?
I don't know.
You gotta be extra sharp. That's cheesy humor. Okay, number 3. Why couldn't the gunslinger walk after his duel?
I don't know.
He was defeated. Defeated. Number 4. When do werewolves duel?
I don't know.
High moon. High moon. Thank you. Number 5. Why? Is that why? I gotta read my notes here. Oh yeah. Why did the competitive eater lose to his opponent?
I don't know.
He bit off more than he could chew. The final one, ladies and germs. Why did the medieval warrior insist upon fighting after the sun went down?
I don't know.
He wanted to make it a night to remember. And that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Joke-wise, that is. Alright, it's the end of the show. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
And as always,
We'll be watching for you.